mean
not.
anything to you?
Listen.
Boy, it means something
No.
to you. It means something to you if Dylan Gabriel was the guy playing with the threes and they got
Oh,
waived
oh,
the next day. That would mean
you
something to you.
I've never seen this in football. After a wonderful week of college football, if you're not a Texas fan, I think it's interesting to catch back in the NFL. We are officially in the first week of the NFL. The Browns kick off September 7th against the gosh darn Cincinnati Bengals. Now, they don't have any defense besides Trey Hendrickson and his fancy new deal, but that offense is high-powered, very electric, and it would be an interesting start for Joe Flacco and company. And it starts the clock of how long Joe Flacco is going to get starts until a rookie ultimately takes his place. Look, we know that the Browns have 2 first-round picks next year. We saw Jimmy Haslam and Andrew Berry at the University of Texas versus Ohio State game getting nice and cozy, right? Now, maybe they just want Julian Sand. Maybe they just want Caleb Downs, or maybe they wanted them some Arch Manning before he decided to play like the long-lost Manning brother. Now, I think Manning is going to be all right. I think he's just going to be okay. But I do think Caleb Downs being a Cleveland Brown is probably the most likely thing with y'all having 2 first-round picks. But what does that mean for the longer world thing? We're going to hear from Kevin Stefanski speaking on a few things, looking ahead. Of course, Shedeur Sanders looking at a little bit of film from him, as well as the AP or assistant GM speaking about the quarterback riddle and how things are going to matriculate. And if we have time, we'll check in on some media. You know how the media gets down. Speak about a few things and go from there, man. I cannot thank y'all enough for supporting the videos. This weekend we did some college football videos. I am trying to, incorporate all types of football. That's why I changed my name to FB Tings. I don't know how long some of y'all been here for. It used to be CFB Tings. So, you know what I'm saying? If y'all enjoy both of them, let me know. If y'all only enjoy one of them, hey, I'll make another channel and I'll just put the CFB or other stuff over there. I'll keep only the Shedeur stuff here. I mean, I don't care. I like making videos about football. So, y'all make it possible. So, all this to the honest, y'all let me know. But let's get right into the news. Now, the first part of the news is just I'm tired of hearing about arches and these people and that people. Can we just watch 12 throw the dang football, huh? How can we just watch it? Just poetry, emotion, smooth, clean. While everybody was saying this and that, while everybody had comparisons, while everybody was sadly comparing Arch Manning to Shedeur because of the whole last name syndrome. They were comparing him to Bronny James. They were comparing him to everything. My issue, I have to say, because, as a Texas fan, I saw how y'all react to Arch Manning, and some people are like, oh, they don't treat Arch Manning the same. They don't treat Arch Manning the same. But there were plenty of people who were shitting on Arch Manning. There were plenty of people who were jumping the gun and saying, hey, he's terrible, he's awful, oh my God, it's all last name hype. I just make sure that y'all say that way just in case if he does play good. Make sure I'll say that way. And then the people who, are treating it a little different. I do have a hard stance there. And my hard stance there is that if you enjoy somebody like Arch Manning, I don't understand why you don't like Shedeur Sanders, right? And this is where I'm going to end it here. I like Shedeur Sanders, and I'm just going to be crazy, and I learned to be a fan of him because I'm a Deion Sanders fan. Watch him all the time. So when anything Deion Sanders does, hey, I'm going to try to support it if I enjoy it. You introduced me to a man named Shedeur, a man named Shiloh, and a man named Bucky. Now, Bucky, I think is just before my time. I wasn't watching football heavily. I didn't know he was out there in SMU. But Shedeur and Shiloh, even from the Jackson State days, right? Electric Factory. You know what I'm saying? The cameras are on them. It's amazing. There's nothing wrong with enjoying being entertained and wanting to root for them. I've been very vocal about, hey, I just like Shedeur. I just want him to be good. Now, I'm going to come here every single time and tell y'all if he's bad or if he's not good or XYZ element of P, right? But this idea of I hate people because of their last name has to be crazier. So for all the people who are like, oh my God, the CU aunties, and oh my God, I can't believe they like a player. Is that what y'all mad? Y'all better be mad at the people who were waiting for Arch Manning to fail. They were waiting for Shedeur Sanders to fail. They wait for people with last names to fail. Right now, is there nepotism that's wrong in the world? Yes, there is. But clearly, if you've gotten your lashings, if you're a 5th-round pick, if it's this and that, clearly the nepotism isn't what's getting him to the league, right? Nepotism didn't throw for 4,000 yards, right? Nepotism didn't get in Pat Sherman as an offensive coordinator who people are saying he's terrible, right? So y'all gotta pick. Y'all got to pick which one. Is the Arch Manning name okay? Is the Sanders Manning name okay? And why is it okay to hate on Shedeur and take things that he says out of context, even though we watch videos of Arch Manning of him with funny quotables and spinning things. And he's talking about, I put a target on everybody's back. Oh, but that's cool, right? Okay. I just want to make sure we all remember what it is. We all remember after this weekend, because I did see some people killing them. And some people are like, oh, they don't treat Arch Manning the same. Some people they do. Some people they do. So I think it's important to point out. Now, Kevin Stefanski, you're going to have to answer to why, after drafting 7 quarterbacks and picking up 2 more, you're out here in quarterback land. All right, let's hear it, Kevin Stefanski.
Great experience. Good job, Coach Day and that crew.
I don't want to hear that.
Big-time college football game I've ever been to, with all respect to the Penn Quakers. So it was fun for me to be able to take my boys down there. Had a blast. The show
Hook 'em
was
horns,
rocking.
by the way.
Very cool.
The shoe is rocking. I don't want to hear it. And Deontay Lewis, if you in my comment section, I'm not IOing you anymore. I already gave it to you, son. Just get out of here. I don't want to hear it. Now, VP of Football Operations, Browns assistant GM, Catherine Hickman. This is my first time hearing from her. I had no idea what she did, but Daryl Reuter actually asked a question about some quarterback development. Here's some things that she had to say.
How do you, in such a compressed window, considering the various trajectories of young quarterbacks in this league, some take off immediately, some take a couple of years. How in that short window this season can you guys, I guess, make as accurate of an evaluation or projection on both Dylan and Shedeur while also balancing the assets you have next year?
Yeah, it's actually great question, Daryl. That's what makes our job
hard,
fun and hard. I'd
say
I'd just go back to like the plan that we have in place for these guys when it comes to developing is acquiring as many valuable data points we can. Now we know these things take time. So what is that going to look like at the end of the year? I don't have a crystal ball to tell you, and I don't do well with hypotheticals, but I will say that every opportunity we will have to evaluate them, we will take. None of them is going to take, a back seat in how we plan and program for them with the reps that we have. And then from there, we'll see what the spring brings, and we'll evaluate all possibilities like we always do.
So I want you to understand, and this is something interesting. Well, I'll let this some more Shedeur and some more, B-roll play as I'm in the background. And we're going to get into some, oh, wow, that's not what I wanted to do. We're going to get into a little bit of, film. We're going to get into a little bit of some other things going on. And something I want to point out, right, is that somebody of her magnitude when it comes to, what she's responsible of doing in the world of the NFL, right? That thought process is so, like she said, spring. We're talking about springtime, right? Like this is something where like Shedeur is going to, and Dylan Gabriel as well, they're going to be, auditioning for jobs through the next springtime. So in the same time that they were brought in to be rookies, that same time of them just adjusting to the league, in that time, they are going to have to, continue being an NFL quarterback, learn to be an NFL quarterback, and learn what it means to really take that next step, right? I think Shedeur Sanders has all the talent in the world to do that, but I just don't think he's in a team that is solely focused on him, right? They talk about, things take time. I want to think about the different quarterbacks, different project quarterbacks in the way that they were handled, and even them not working out, right? Anthony Richardson got the keys to the castle, and he hadn't even started any significant games at Florida, right? But everything was on him. Hey, we're experimenting here. We're doing it. Lamar Jackson, an experiment that actually works. People looked at that as an experiment back in the day. It's crazy to think of a multiple MVP winner. People were trying to call him a running back, a wide receiver, anything else, but a child of God. I mean, a quarterback. But you think of that experiment, and that was after Joe Flacco, which is, that's great. Joe Flacco, you've been here for too long, buddy. But after Joe Flacco, you saw a full commitment, a change of offense, triple tight ends, all that other stuff. What I'm saying is, when you have somebody in Shedeur who clearly possesses the ability, right? I think you're hard pressed, right? And if you want to pull up Dan Orlovsky, I can pull up Dan Orlovsky's old tweet saying that he was a first round trade. I can go almost every media pundit besides maybe Paul Feinbaum that has something negative to say about Shedeur right now. The funny thing is, I can pull up a year ago y'all saying that he was going to be great. He was going to be amazing. It's almost like, and this is where I'm going to get into when we get into the media part of it, because there's a whole crash out that Rizzo had against what's it called? What's his name? Tony Grossi, and everybody was on Tony Grossi's side, and I just didn't get it. I completely didn't. Everybody was calling Rizzo delusional, and I'm just sitting here like, are we serious? I really feel like what happens is Shedeur Sanders' popularity makes it so this is what's happening. People want to overcompensate for the fact that people like Shedeur. So they have to hate him for no reason, right? They can't fathom that somebody is likable. They can't fathom that somebody that isn't the way that they want it to be, right? Because here's the thing: if Arch Manning was great at football and threw for, I don't know, let's say hypothetically 4,000 yards, let's say he broke a bunch of school records, let's say his jersey was retired, do you think that people would respond the same way they responded to Shedeur Sanders? Well, and again, this is NFL player Darius Butler. This is not me. This is NFL player Darius Butler. He had to say Shedeur Sanders set 100 school records, and I'm not going over them because we've been over them. If you haven't watched my videos over this weekend or over this offseason and you're still wondering what record Shedeur broke, I know that you don't know about football enough to even criticize Shedeur. You don't even know the completion the records, the single season records, the single game records, the career records, all of them that he broke and obliterated through 2 years at Colorado after coming from an HBCU that y'all said or that y'all don't even count when y'all count his record. Even though Patrick Mahomes has a 13-16 record or 13-19 record. But again, it only matters if y'all don't like who is getting the attention. Please, somebody, can somebody tell me what's wrong with a person, a Heisman winner, and another person who just, I don't know, broke 100 school records, led a team to their best record in almost a decade, first time bowl game in 5 years? That's not worthy? Because if I say, oh, what about the team that won a national championship? You mean the split national championship? That some people don't even recognize Colorado as a national championship? So who are we talking about? The only other Heisman Trophy winner at Colorado? Shedeur was top 5 in Heisman vote. Like, what do y'all want? Y'all can, again, if y'all really thought Shedeur was a terrible person, y'all should have been saying that when he was throwing for 4,000 yards and he was mocked in the first round. If y'all thought Shedeur Sanders couldn't read defenses and that was the problem, y'all should have been saying that back in January when he was getting his John Unitas Golden Arm Award, right? And he was mocked in the first down. If y'all really thought Shedeur Sanders just drifts in the pocket too much and that's going to completely make him an invaluable NFL quarterback, y'all should have been saying that when he was mocked in the first round back in January. But that's not what y'all said. Y'all said anonymous quotes came out, right? Y'all said random people that we can't confirm said things we can't confirm. That's the reason. And then when he plays good, oh, well, you know, it's really and then when he has one bad game, for the love of God, this is what it causes.
You mean he hurt his chances that much? Why would they value the third game over the first game?
Riz, because you're supposed to improve with every appearance.
He played with the twos in the first game.
I'm not going to argue with him, all right? He had 5 series, and he went backwards on each of them.
Played with the threes, Tony. 4 of the 5 guys got waived the next day. That doesn't mean anything? That doesn't mean anything to you? Boy, it means something to you. It means something to you if Dylan Gabriel was the guy playing with the threes and they got waived the next day. That would mean something to you. Doesn't fit your narrative. Doesn't fit your narrative.
Narrative? I don't understand your emotional investment in Shedeur.
Tony Grossi has been the most emotionally invested in Dylan Gabriel. Since the day Shedeur Sanders got here, he has been pounding the drum of like, well, why doesn't Dylan Gabriel get any attention? Because he was a 5th round pick. Why do we have to sound so delusional? Why is it when this happens, everybody just wants Shedeur to accept the fact that the NFL deemed you a 5th rounder? I keep hearing that, and I'm done with this. I'm not watching any more tape. I'm not watching no more because I looked at the comments of this video, and that was a month ago, or was it a week ago, August 28th? Oh wow, that was only a few days ago. That's actually crazy. And I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here wondering, why do people keep saying, well, the team says, the NFL says, everybody else says, this is what Shedeur is. So I think everybody should just respect it, and Shedeur should act like a 5th rounder. I never believed in the humbling thing. Like they were trying to humble him, because I don't think you can humble him. At this point, I've always believed that the NFL didn't want him to have top rankings, right? Because if he's a 1st-round pick, then he has pull, his coach has pull, it means more. If you're a 5th-round pick, well, now he has less legs to stand on. The problem is that even though he's a 5th-round pick, it only made him more popular. So people like Tony Grossi just can't fathom why they might give somebody who looked good against ones, who hadn't got any experience with ones. Maybe that's why his throwing process isn't as good. Maybe that's why he's bailing out of pocket. Maybe because he hasn't been set up for the proper success like Dillon Gabriel has been molded to. They have said nothing but they love Dillon Gabriel. They love his process. They love everything. Oh my goodness. Dillon Gabriel was made for the Stefanski system. He was made for it. He does it right. They love Stefanski so much. Oh my God. But the idea that a 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round mocked guy who just so happened to get drafted in the 3rd round is supposed to get the same level of notoriety as an actual 1st round talent that NFL, not me. I'm tired of y'all coming in my comments. Go attack Dan Orlovsky. You know, the same dude saying that, it's Steve Sarkisian's fault that Arch Manning's dumb, that he can't throw a pass more than 5 air yards. It's Steve Sarkisian's part. But God forbid Shedeur Sanders go out there with fucking future painters and insurance salesmen and has one bad day. How many interceptions did Shedeur throw? Oh, 0. How many fumbles did Shedeur give up? Oh, 0. Hey, Tony Grossi, it's really easy to improve when you did shit your last game. When your first game was dog shit and you made fatal errors that you came in here and made 1,000 mistakes, but he looked so good. Besides the awful fucking mistakes he made, I've never seen this shit in football. I've never seen somebody be made excuses for. He's a 5th-round talent, and that's okay. He's 5'8". Remember when y'all kept saying, Shedeur doesn't have any intangibles? Shedeur has bigger hands. He's taller. He's not faster. So what are y'all seeing? Because he played at Oregon in a loaded team? Yeah, he really knows how to operate when things are going great. That's what Dillon Gabriel is great at. And there's nothing wrong with that. But stop saying, Shedeur is so far behind. No, it's somebody's using a katana and somebody else is using a pocket knife. That's what it is. Right? Somebody is getting after precision and somebody makes them big splash plays. He doesn't belong in this system. He belongs in a vertical offense that is prioritizing him. But the Browns aren't prioritizing him. They are prioritizing a 8-win season to stay alive, to keep Kevin Stefanski unfired and Andrew Berry nice and paid. Jesus Christ.